Ever wondered how Japanese housewives are making millions through day trading? Meet Mrs. Watanabe. In the world of finance, the name Mrs. Watanabe may not ring any bells, but in Japan, it's a term that holds a great deal of weight. Mrs. Watanabe is not an individual, but rather a symbol. A symbol representing the average retail investor in Japan, who often happens to be a housewife. The term was coined by Japanese brokers to characterize this demographic of investors who, despite their domestic responsibilities, have become a formidable force in the global currency markets. These aren't your average housewives, mind you. They are astute, shrewd, and have a knack for strategic decision-making. While managing their households, they are simultaneously navigating the turbulent waters of the financial markets, and quite successfully at that. They've gone from managing grocery lists and school schedules to managing portfolios and currency exchanges. Japanese housewives, or Mrs. Watanabes as they are collectively known, are now a significant part of the global economy. They account for a substantial proportion of the foreign exchange margin trading in Japan, and their influence extends beyond the shores of their homeland. Their trading decisions can cause ripples and sometimes waves in currency markets around the world. The rise of Mrs. Watanabe is a fascinating story of empowerment and financial independence. It's a story of ordinary housewives stepping out of their traditional roles, breaking societal norms, and challenging the status quo. They've not only managed to carve a niche for themselves in a male-dominated field, but they've also demonstrated that anyone, regardless of their background or gender, can achieve financial success with the right strategy and mindset. They are the unsung heroes of the financial world, the hidden powerhouses driving the economy, and they've undoubtedly changed the face of retail investing in Japan and beyond. So how did these seemingly ordinary housewives become millionaires? Let's delve into the world of Mrs. Watanabe. How did Mrs. Watanabe step into the world of day trading, you may wonder? Well, it's a tale as old as time, but with a modern twist. In the late 20th century, Japan faced an economic stagnation that lasted for nearly 2 decades, often referred to as the lost score. Interest rates were low and savings accounts yielded little to no returns. Faced with this economic ennui, many Japanese housewives, the stalwart managers of their household's finances, were forced to look for alternative ways to stretch the family yen, and thus the stage was set for a new chapter in the world of finance. Mrs. Watanabe, a symbolic character representing the diligent and frugal Japanese housewife, entered the world of day trading. These women were not driven by greed or a desire for ostentatious wealth, but rather the need to secure a stable financial future for their families. Interestingly, the traits that made them excellent homemakers also made them proficient traders. Their meticulous budgeting skills, honed over years of managing household finances, gave them a unique edge. They were used to stretching resources, planning for the long term, and making do with what they had. Furthermore, their patience, a virtue ingrained in the Japanese culture, proved to be another asset. Day trading requires one to wait for the right moment, to observe market trends without getting swept up in the frenzy. It's a game of patience and precision, and Mrs. Watanabe was well equipped to play. But it wasn't just about the skills they brought to the table. It was also about their resilience and determination. Many of these women had little to no previous experience in trading. They had to learn the ropes, understand complex financial concepts, and navigate a male-dominated industry. Yet they persevered, they learned, they adapted, and they conquered. Their journey was not without its challenges, but their resolve to secure a better future for their families kept them going. The journey of Mrs. Watanabe is one of resilience and determination. It's a tale of ordinary women doing extraordinary things, a testament to the power of necessity and the strength of the human spirit. What are the trading strategies that Mrs. Watanabe uses to make millions? This question has baffled many a trader as they try to understand the secret behind her success. Firstly, Mrs. Watanabe is not afraid of taking risks. She has a preference for high-risk, high-reward trades. This audacious approach to trading is not for the faint-hearted. It requires a deep understanding of the markets, a robust risk management strategy, and nerves of steel. But when done right, it can result in spectacular returns. Her trading strategy is a blend of technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Technical analysis involves studying price patterns and trends in the market. It's like trying to predict the weather by looking at the patterns in the clouds. On the other hand, fundamental analysis involves studying the underlying factors that affect the value of a currency, such as the health of the economy, interest rates, and political stability. It's like predicting the weather by understanding how the atmosphere works. Mrs. Watanabe also has a knack for spotting market trends before they become mainstream. She keeps a keen eye on the news and any shifts in the global economic landscape. For instance, if there's news about potential changes in interest rates in a country, she will anticipate how that could affect the value of that country's currency and make trades accordingly. This ability to stay ahead of the curve has allowed her to make profitable trades time and again. Another aspect of Mrs. Watanabe's trading strategy is her discipline. She sets strict stop-loss orders and sticks to them. A stop-loss order is a predetermined point at which a trader will sell a stock to limit their losses. This helps her to manage her risks effectively and protect her trading capital. Then there's her persistence. Trading is not always a smooth ride. There are ups and downs, wins and losses. But Mrs. Watanabe doesn't let the losses deter her. She learns from them, adjusts her strategy, and keeps going. This tenacity is a key factor in her success. Finally, Mrs. Watanabe is patient. She understands that trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It requires time, effort, and patience. She doesn't rush her trades or make impulsive decisions. Instead, she carefully analyzes the market, waits for the right opportunities, and then makes her move. In essence, Mrs. Watanabe's trading strategy is a combination of risk-taking, technical and fundamental analysis, trend spotting, discipline, persistence, and patience. It may not be a foolproof strategy, but it has served her well in her trading journey. So there you have it. The trading strategies of Mrs. Watanabe are not shrouded in mystery. They are a testament to her understanding of the markets, her willingness to take risks, and her unwavering discipline and patience. These strategies have been the cornerstone of Mrs. Watanabe's success in day trading. What impact does Mrs. Watanabe have on global currency markets? Quite a substantial one, to put it simply. The collective trading power of these Japanese housewives, also known as the Mrs. Watanabes, holds significant sway over global currency markets. It's rather fascinating, isn't it? A group of individuals, traditionally underrepresented in the world of finance, now wielding the power to influence market trends and cause sizable shifts in currency values. Let's delve into some specific instances that illustrate this. In the early 2000s, the Mrs. Watanabes developed a keen interest in the Australian dollar. The lure of high interest rates led to a mass purchase of the Aussie dollar by these domestic traders. This massive influx of Japanese yen into the Australian currency market led to a sharp appreciation of the Australian dollar's value. Quite a remarkable feat, isn't it? In another instance, around the mid-2000s, the Mrs. Watanabes set their sights on the Turkish lira. Again, high interest rates were the main attraction. The heavy buying of the lira by these Japanese housewives led to a significant strengthening of the Turkish currency. It's clear that when the Mrs. Watanabes move, they move markets. This ripple effect isn't limited to just currencies either. The collective buying and selling decisions of the Mrs. Watanabes can also impact global bond markets, commodity prices, and even the stock market. In essence, the Mrs. Watanabes have become a force to be reckoned with in the global financial markets. Their trading activity has the potential to cause significant market movements, and their influence cannot be underestimated. The financial world has come to recognize the power of the Mrs. Watanabes. Their trades are closely watched by market analysts, and their movements can serve as indicators of broader market trends. So, to answer our initial question, the impact of Mrs. Watanabe on the global currency markets is not just significant but monumental. The influence of Mrs. Watanabe extends far beyond Japan, shaping global currency trends. What are the risks and challenges that Mrs. Watanabe faces in day trading? Day trading, while potentially lucrative, is fraught with perils and pitfalls. Let's delve into the risks and challenges that face our savvy Mrs. Watanabe in her quest to conquer the financial markets from her living room. Firstly, market volatility. The financial markets are a swirling cauldron of unpredictability, with prices fluctuating wildly within a single trading day. This can be a boon for a day trader where the aim is to profit from short-term price movements, but it can also lead to significant losses. A sudden, unexpected swing in the market can wipe out profits and even lead to losses exceeding the initial investment. Secondly, the risk of substantial financial loss. Day trading is not for the faint-hearted. The very nature of the strategy buying and selling securities within a single trading day means there's always the potential for a trade to go sour. The high-risk, high-reward nature of day trading means that while there's the potential to make significant gains, there's also the potential to lose, and lose big. Thirdly, there's the psychological challenge. Day trading requires a cool head and nerves of steel. The pressure of constantly monitoring the markets, making split-second decisions can be incredibly stressful. It requires discipline and emotional control to not let fear or greed dictate trading decisions. Lastly, there's the challenge of keeping up with the ever-changing financial markets. It requires constant learning, research, and staying abreast of global economic news and events. It's a full-time job and then some. But let's not forget, every challenge presents an opportunity and every risk a potential reward. Mrs. Watanabe navigates these rough seas with the skill of a seasoned sailor. She's aware of the risks, but she's also learned how to manage them. She's faced losses, but she's also reaped significant gains. Despite these risks, Mrs. Watanabe continues to thrive in the world of day trading. What can we learn from Mrs. Watanabe's trading journey? As we delve into the final lessons from our insightful journey, we discover that there's much to be gleaned from the experiences of these astute Japanese housewives. First and foremost, the story of Mrs. Watanabe amplifies the virtue of patience. In the turbocharged world of day trading, it's easy to succumb to the allure of quick gains. Yet Mrs. Watanabe's narrative teaches us that taking a step back, observing market trends, and waiting for the opportune moment can often yield better results. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a successful trading portfolio. Next, we learn the significance of diligent research. Mrs. Watanabe didn't merely rely on luck or gut feelings. Instead, she pored over financial reports, studied market indicators, and tracked international news to make informed decisions. In essence, she turned her home into a personal trading floor, armed with knowledge as her most potent weapon. As the old adage goes, knowledge is power. And Mrs. Watanabe's story is a shining example of this truth. Finally, we arrive at the critical lesson of risk management. Trading, like any financial venture, comes with its fair share of risks. Mrs. Watanabe wasn't immune to this reality, but she tackled it head-on with her prudent approach. She never put all her eggs in one basket, always diversifying her investments across different markets. This strategy, coupled with her disciplined approach to setting stop-loss limits, ensured she could weather market downturns and come out on top. In conclusion, Mrs. Watanabe's trading journey isn't just a story of financial success. It's a tale of tenacity, strategic thinking, and the power of everyday individuals to make their mark in the world of finance. Whether you're a seasoned trader or a novice investor, these lessons serve as a reminder that with the right mindset and approach, anyone can navigate the choppy waters of the financial markets. The story of Mrs. Watanabe is a testament to the power of perseverance and strategic thinking. In conclusion, the story of Mrs. Watanabe is a fascinating tale of ordinary individuals achieving extraordinary financial success. As we look back on our journey together, we've learned that Mrs. Watanabe isn't a single person, but rather a collective of Japanese housewives who have become financial powerhouses in their own right. These women have found success in the world of day trading, turning their keen insights and strategic thinking into a formidable force in the global currency markets. We began with a look at the start of their journey, a humble beginning that was rooted in managing household budgets and making ends meet. From these simple beginnings, they embarked on a path that would lead them to financial success. Their journey was not without its challenges, but they met these with determination and unwavering focus. Next, we delved into the trading strategies of Mrs. Watanabe. We discovered that they are not reckless gamblers, but meticulous strategists. Their approach involves careful analysis, risk management, and a steadfast commitment to their financial goals. Their strategies are a testament to their perseverance and dedication. We also explored the significant impact and influence these women have on global currency markets. Their collective actions can sway market trends, and their influence is felt far beyond the borders of Japan. It's a testament to their financial acumen and strategic thinking. However, the journey of Mrs. Watanabe is not without its risks and challenges. We learned that while their strategies have led to great success, they also come with potential pitfalls. Yet these women have shown that with careful planning and risk management, these challenges can be navigated successfully. Through the story of Mrs. Watanabe, we've gained valuable insights into the world of day trading. Their journey serves as a powerful lesson to all of us. It shows us that with dedication, patience, and a little bit of risk, anyone can achieve success in the financial markets. The tale of Mrs. Watanabe is a perfect example of how dedication, patience, and a little bit of risk can lead to unimaginable success.